Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new speedrun. In this speedrun I will be teaching you guys the accelerated dragon, which is an opening against 1e4. Against e4 we will be responding with the move c5 to Sicilian defense. And the accelerated dragon arises after we go for a quick knight c6 and g6 and bishop to g7, fianchettoing our bishop. So let's say knight f3, knight c6, d4, takes, and now g6. This is really the starting position of the accelerated dragon. In this speedrun, I will not only be teaching you guys the theory of this opening, but I will also be teaching you guys all of the plans and ideas. I hope you guys will enjoy it, and let's get started. Okay, and we're playing with black. Okay, let's see what he's gonna do. Okay, e4. Okay, we know what to do. We meet e4 with c5, the Sicilian. The reason why I like Sicilian is that we control the d4 square as well, but we avoid the symmetry. Exactly. Knight f3. And by the way, I encourage everyone to participate in the chat. After knight f3, now we go knight to c6. We develop the knight. And he goes d4. Now, I think the higher we climb up the rating ladder, we're going to see the open Sicilian more and more. And the whole point of the move c5 is that whenever you see the move d4, is to take that pawn. You don't want to allow white to build a big center, so we simply take. White recaptures, and now it's time to bring the dragon bishop to life with the move g6. We're going to go bishop g7 next, and this is really the start of the accelerated dragon. The reason why it's called the accelerated dragon is that we play g6 on move 4, and in the normal dragon you'd play g6 on move number 5. Now obviously the follow-up here is the move bishop g7, and not only do we develop the bishop, we also attack the knight, and they go bishop e3. Now, this is covered in chapter 1 of my course, and I think, like I said, the more we climb up the rating ladder, we're going to see this more and more. Now, what you do after bishop g7 is your next move is almost always going to be knight f6, so that should really come as an automatic. Not much to think about, so let's go ahead and do that here. And let's see if he's going to try to go for the Yugoslav attack. Then we have some nice tricks up our sleeve. Hello, Tadeus. Good to see you. Oh, nice. He goes bishop e2. All right. Okay, let's just castle. That's almost always going to be our next move. Again, not much to think about. And he castles as well. Now, here we have some options. Given the fact that we have not played d6 yet, we can play d6 here. We can also play d7, d5, which is also an interesting option. And let me actually go ahead and do that here. That is one of the key ideas of the accelerated dragon. Like I said, we've not played d6 yet, so we can sometimes play d7, d5 in one go. All right, let's see what he's going to do. Already, we're doing pretty okay. If anything is unclear, please do not be shy to ask about it in the chat. Hello, Starting Chess. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've been enjoying the course. Hello, IC Row. Good to see you in the YouTube chat. Thank you. Okay, well, that's all right, Thaddeus. We're all here to learn. We are all here to learn. Okay, let's see what he's going to do. Okay, he takes on c6. Obviously, we're going to recapture with the b-pawn. Ken, you show the first moves RQ. Did you play any accelerated dragon in the US Masters? No, I did not. Alright, e5. Attacking my knight. Okay, I have to move it, of course. I guess knight e7 makes the most sense. Hitting it that way. Knight e8 is a move as well, but I think I'll go knight 2. To be somewhat careful, I'm considering knight e7. It's going to go f4. And then I have to think. I'm considering f6, but it runs the knight takes d5. I could also go knight e8, because then I can go f6. And I suppose I will just recapture with my knight. Can also take with the bishop. Let's go knight. Let's go knight e8, because I want to meet f4 with f6, and I don't want to allow this move tactic, knight takes d5. Okay, f4 played. Let's go f6, because my bishop is currently blocked out, but now I want to bring it back to life. If he takes, can take with the knight, can also take with the bishop. Okay, nice. Bishop c5, okay. But what do I always tell you guys? If there's something you can take, and you don't see why not, you should take. And we have such a situation here. We can simply take this pawn. I don't see why not, so I'm going to take. Yep, and the only way is up starting chess. We're now at 1550, and we're going to push the 1600 all the way up to 2000, 2500, all the good stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and take. I can also take here, but then you can take, forcing my king out to a slightly awkward square. So I'm going to take here. Check. Okay, let's see what he's going to do. He recaptures with the queen. Again, free pawn. If you don't see why not, just go ahead and take it. All right, well, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it, Father Marcus. Now the question is, what Sicilian do you play, Father Marcus? Now he goes rook to d1. Okay, I'm not too concerned about what he's doing here. This is firmly protected. Rook b8 is an option, creating some pressure here. I can also bring out the knight. Let's go ahead, or like knight out here. I will go knight f6. Just bring out the knight to an active square. I can go queen c7 as well. Hitting the pawn on h2, which is a little bit awkward to protect. Hello, Bradlove. Good to see you in the chat. E7 pawn. The thing is, you don't have to push that pawn. You don't have to push that pawn. I guess, Mbopi, you said you're an e5 player, and I totally get it. You look at the pawn and you're like, wait, when are we ever going to push that to the center? But we don't have to. Because when you push it, it could also weaken your position. So for the moment, we're going to leave it here. And I hope that makes sense. But great point in the chat. Really appreciate everyone participating, because that's going to make the speedrun only better. Yep, okay. Hello, Simon. Why not d5? I recommend that you almost always play castles before d5, because with d5, you open up the center. And if your king is in the middle, you're not that well prepared for the center to open. So almost always play castle before d5. Hope that makes sense. By the way, I also really appreciate the feedback I've been getting from everyone on my course. It's been great to see how well it has been received. That being said, if there's anything you think that can be improved, absolutely do not be shy to let me know. All right, so bishop f3. I can go queen c7. Queen a5 is an option as well. I'll just go queen c7, hit the pawn over here, which, like I said, is slightly awkward for him to protect. Where can we get the course? It's on Chessable and on chess.com. So it's on Chessable right here. Okay, g3 is inviting this sacrifice, but it's not working because he has queen g2. Rook b8 again, but I think knight a4. I think I'll just develop with the move bishop f5. Develop with tempo, by the way, as we also hit this pawn. Hello, Victor. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right, he goes rook d2, but looks a bit awkward. Like, I think now I'm definitely going to go rook to queen a5 is an option. But I'll go rook b8. I'll hit this pawn, which, once again, is a little awkward to protect because he cannot push the pawn. And let me also, by the way, give you guys the link to my course on chess.com. Just letting everyone know, if you have chess.com Diamond, it will be, b3 is not a good move. Why is b3 not a good move? Let's see who's paying attention. Why is b3 not good? All right. I'll give you guys the link, and just letting everyone know, if you have a chess.com Diamond membership, you can get it for 30% off. Yep, indeed, that's just a free night. So let's go ahead and take it. Again, if there's something you can take and you don't see why not, go ahead and take it. All right, so obviously the game is over. We're up a piece. And the rest should be pretty simple. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. He goes rook e2. Makes a lot of sense. And yeah, he's hitting this. Could go e5 here, but also like knight e4, addressing the threat on the e7 pawn and creating a threat myself. Yep. All right, g4 hitting my bishop, but okay, he's creating some counterplay, but I think I'll just go ahead and take here. Take the bishop. Yes, he takes here, but Raw material, so traits are fine for us. Okay, I can throw in this check, but I don't have to. Let's just go rook f8. Bring the rook over to the king side because that's where a lot of action is happening. Okay, he takes. I'll just recapture. My king is still pretty safe. Rook g. Okay, queen h3. I have to be a little bit careful. This is not a move because my knight's covering that square. I'm gonna get queen f4. If he takes, I have queen g5, and that's the end of the game. So queen g5, queen f4 looks pretty good. I bring my queen over. Again, that's where all the action is happening on the board. So I want to bring my queen over as well. Yep, I told you guys, rook b8 was an awkward move for him to meet, and he crumbled under the pressure. Okay, rook takes e7. Tricky move. He's threatening checkmate on 1. So we absolutely should not take this bishop, but we planned for this because we had prepared to move queen g5 check, and we pick up the rook, and that's gonna be the end. Exactly. Yep. Indeed, that is GG. Hello, Cosmo. Good to see you. Oh, thank you, Italic. Okay, nice. But yeah, no, like I said, hope everyone's doing well. Hope you guys have been enjoying the course, the videos, all that. Okay, it was king of 1. We obviously just collect a rook. Now we're up a rook and a knight. And honestly, I would not be shocked if he resigns here. Okay, king g2. Everything is winning, but let's just throw in a check. We're now going to take his king for a hunt. He goes there. We continue the king hunt, bring in another piece with 94. King here, and now we just give a check and checkmate. All right, good stuff. Okay, so win another nice game and move up to 1562. Let's do a quick analysis of this game. So we, of course, go for the Sicilian. We bring out our knight. Whenever we see d4, we will take that pawn. So this move should come automatically, and then we go g6, the start of the accelerated dragon. And the point is to bring that bishop out to g7 on the long diagonal. All right. After you do that, your next move is almost always going to be knight f6. Not much to think about. And then after that, our next move is almost always going to be castle. Someone asked, why not d5? But with d5, you open up the center, and we're just better prepared to deal with all of that if our king is nicely tucked away. So we castle, he castles as well. Now, all of this is actually still covered in my course. Hello, Hquazi, great to see you. d6, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But d5, nice move as well. Taking advantage of the fact that we've not touched the d-pawn and we can move it 2 squares. If he takes, we can take, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, I might have knight b4 in the course with the idea to take here and take with a knight. No, nobody has played the Maroxy yet, so maybe we'll see that at some point. Hello, Elliot. Great to see you. Elliot, why were you not at the US Masters? Anyway, he takes, we recapture, and e5, and this was a really interesting moment. My knight's under attack, and I was considering knight d7, hitting the pawn, f4, and f6. This is a very typical idea. If your bishop gets blocked in with e5 and f4, you often want to open it up again with the move f6. But here, white has a tactic. White has the move knight takes d5, with the idea that if black takes, white can take with check, and white's going to collect the rook in the corner. And that's why I played knight e8, because I'm also hitting the pawn. And after f4, now I have f6, because my queen is also protecting this pawn. So now knight takes d5 is out of the question. All right. Anyway, we go f6 to open up our bishop. White obviously should take, but white went here, and now I just go ahead and take the pawn. And here, black is doing great. I guess we can, Jad, we can show that later. But yeah, here black is doing great. We have an extra pawn. And some people, like Mbopi in the chat, is more of an e5 player, and it might come a little bit counterintuitive that pawn often stays on e7, sometimes for the entire game, right? but that's just what happens if you play a different opening. You might feel very tempted to push the pawn up, but not necessary. This bishop is doing a great job here in the middle of the board. If they would have taken on f6, I was considering to take with the bishop, and the computer confirms that. Because I was thinking like my knight can jump out like this or like this, but bishop takes is apparently the best. And I guess, like I said, because if I take with the knight, for the moment I'm blocking my bishop, and the knight doesn't have any good squares it can go to, but from here it can. Or here and here. All right, here we just take the pawn, and black is doing great. We bring out the knight, and queen c7 is surprisingly awkward to meet. White is going to have to make a slight concession with either h3 or g3. This move was chosen, bishop here, and this move rook b8 was one I was looking at for a while, because as you will often see in the Accelerated Dragon, the pressure of the rook combined with the bishop can be really unpleasant for white to deal with. People, often when this pawn is hanging, they're tempted to push that pawn up, but that's simply going to hang the knight, and that was simply the end of the game. We're up a piece, and the rest wasn't too difficult. But yeah, here we were up a piece, so the rest was pretty simple. Queen f4, he took here, but now check, and we collect the rook. All right, so yeah, okay, some more moves, but it ended in checkmate. Okay, so good stuff. We get another win. Okay, we're playing with black against Gasparov. Okay, goes g3. Now I can go d5, but we can also kind of, let's try to play this as an Accelerated Dragon, with the emphasis on try. We'll see how this goes. Let's go c5. Let's go knight c6. I can still go g6 and bishop g7 afterwards. He goes b3. However, since he's really messing around, I'm just going to build the big center. Let's go d5. Goes there. Let's go e5. Let's build the big center. Goes e3. I feel like he's still messing around, so I'm going to continue building a big center. I knew somebody could not resist the urge to say it in the chat. Oh, wait, almost mouse slip there. Okay, let's continue. I wonder what the best setup is. I think maybe just here and here, but it will be interesting to check. So let's try to punish the hippo in this game. Now with this move, he's breaking the hippo setup. The hippo would have been completed with the move knight e2. He's hitting this pawn. Now, very often what you have to keep in mind is that you have to be patient. If you push these pawns too early, that could backfire. But I'm just going to go bishop d6, just defend everything. Okay, he goes knight g5, hitting this. Let's see, I can drop back to d7. I don't really want to drop back this way, so I'm going to drop back here. d5 is defended, and I can always kick his horse away on the next turn. Okay, let's see what he's going to do. He goes e4, okay. All right, so he's putting pressure on my center. I don't want to go d4 because then he can take and he gets a nice e4 square. I don't want to allow him to take. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take here first and then go d4. So let's go ahead and take. Not quite. Great question, Rami B. I don't know where we should put this, honestly. But let's go d4. Maybe you can still put it in the Accelerated Dragon. Fine. Just put it in the Accelerated Dragon. Because I played c5 and knight c6. Okay, he goes there. Hitting my bishop. I guess I'll just go bishop c7. I can go bishop e7 as well, but I think it makes more sense to go here. Also, so I'm a little bit better prepared for an f4 break. So let's go bishop c7. Okay, let's see what he's going to do. We have a lot of space here. This bishop is currently blocked in. This bishop as well. And we still have a nice center with the black pieces. Yeah, no, great Toronto. They have some great meals. The real Tate, this is the hippo. Alright, he goes there, but it's not really doing anything. I'm just gonna castle. Just have to make sure he does not get this, but for the moment that's not an option. His knight is in the way. But yeah, guys, I have a sponsorship with Cook Unity. They have some really nice meals. I ordered some myself. Would really appreciate it if people check it out, because it also does support the channel quite a lot. Okay, he castles, but now we have knight b4. We also have b5. He's really walking right into the line of fire. So let's go ahead and attack. Let's go b5. Hit the knight. Also have knight b4 coming. The next couple of moves are really going to hurt white. Like, the king is not safe here. He definitely should have castled this way. I see we already have someone sign up for Cook Unity, so really appreciate that. Let me know if that was you. Alright, I can throw a knight b4. I guess he wants me to take, because then he gets this. But even that, it's just winning for black, because I can take. However, okay, I guess if he takes, that's not that clear. Let's see, what are we gonna do? Maybe just h6. Let's go h6, we attack another piece. Didn't quite want to take, because it allows e5. Yep, the four pawns attack, yep. Okay, takes, hitting my knight. If I take, he takes. So I'm gonna take this way. Because now if he takes, I take, and I keep all the threats. Hitting the queen, I'm hitting this, so he's gonna lose something. Okay, he goes there. Alright, goes there. Okay, well, free knight, let's go ahead and take it. Okay, hitting the knight. Knight g4 is a really nice move, as we're defending the knight, offering the queen trade, and we're threatening to jump in. Okay, let's see what he's gonna do. Okay, nice, Great Thorn Toad. Okay, he goes there, but now rook f2, spinning up a lot of material. Okay, nice, appreciate that. Let me check. But yeah, if you follow my Twitch link, then it should count, and that will support the channel. You will, by the way, have a discount for 4 weeks. And if you stay signed up for those 4 weeks, that is going to support the channel. All right, rook d2, knight f3. Or, you know what, let's put him in a pin. Queen g5 looks pretty unpleasant. Okay, h4. I want to keep the pin, so let's go ahead and go here. Okay, king d1. Okay, this is a move. This is a move. All right, let's jump in. These knights are going to do a lot of damage. All right, and let's go knight f3. Look at these knights. This hurts. This hurts. Okay, takes. I can take the queen, but I can also take here with check. Okay, he goes there. Let's go ahead and take the queen. We're up a queen now, and the game is just over. a4. Okay, nice stuff. Okay, win another nice game. And here we see how we should punish our opponent if they do not put any pawns in the middle. So I like what we did. We put 1, 2, 3, 4 pawns in the middle. We really built a big center here with black. All right, so I developed the knight, bishop, and the other bishop. And I feel like if he's not able to attack my center somehow, then black is just doing great here. Okay, he went here, e4. But like I said, he wants to open up this bishop. If I go d4, he takes, and he gets the e4 square for his knight. So what I do is I take first, and then I go d4. And now both bishops are blocked in. All right, so it goes here, but it just dropped the bishop back. Can always kick this knight away later with b5. So, but this is just not a move. This king is very unsafe here. b5. And, okay, we took. Now we simply win a piece because we hit the queen. This hanging as well. All right, so we take knight here, defending this, offering the queen trade. Rook f2 with the 4 key, hitting this and this. Here we take queen g5, winning by pinning. And everything just collapsed. Check. Another fork. Everything is just collapsing. Take with the discovery check. And we won the queen. And with that, the game. Okay. So very nice stuff. But I hope this gives you guys a good idea what you should do if your opponent goes for the hippo and he doesn't put any pawns in the middle himself.